Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between.
Everybody's heard about the bird.
Stop! Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. My name is Sherman, and this is Wingin' It. We are talking about the creature of many names. We're talking about the mudbat, Scolopax minor, Timberdoodle, bog sucker, the American, don't laugh, woodcock. So, the American woodcock, like I said, it's Scolopax minor. It belongs to the family Scolopacidae, which it's a huge family. That's everything, all your shorebirds that are, you know, when you go to the beach and there's all those little tiny things with the little legs and they're picking at stuff. So those are all, they're all members of Scolopacidae. What sets particularly the woodcock apart from others, the woodcock and the snipe, both they forage inland. So they're not on the beach like other shorebirds. They're actually found in swampy areas, or namely woodcock, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. They like to live and they do their breeding between fields and forests, right where there's a nice meeting of a wide field and a strong enough forest. That's where they breed. And we're going to talk about that. But a couple other features of the Scolopacidae is, I'm going to shut this door. So the physical features of a bird that belongs to Scolopacidae, we're seeing it here. Which side am I on? We're seeing they've got these big long beaks. They're really kind of silly looking that they poke it into the ground and they probe for insects that live in the ground. And so a lot of them have actually, like, their beak itself is strong, but the end is flexible. It's almost kind of disturbing to look at because they've just got this floppy end to their beak so that they can literally, like, they're sifting through the ground to find the bugs. It's kind of crazy. The other thing that's interesting about woodcocks, a lot of Scolopacidae, their eyes are, you know, if you've heard, like, eyes on the front like to hunt, eyes on the side like to hide. Dude, the woodcock, their eyes are, like, almost on the back of their heads. They've got a near 360-degree field of vision. So, yeah, they're prey. they're super susceptible to a lot of, raptor, birds of prey, is one of their biggest predators that they have to look out for. So as they're foraging on the ground, they're poking their little nose into the ground. They've got to be able to check to see if there's any, you know, hawks that are looking to make a meal. So I mentioned the habitat. That is something you want to look for, a field and a forest next to one another when you're going timberdoodling. This is the greatest thing, in my opinion, about the woodcock, is that it provides a super well-known activity for birders, birding enthusiasts, to go timberdoodling. And what that means is you're essentially going to watch their courtship display, because woodcocks have an incredible courtship display. What they do, it's really seen as one of the early signs of spring, is that the male woodcock will paint right at dusk. So I think I've heard somewhere between 45 minutes before sunset and a half an hour after night. They'll paint. And what that means, they just walk around and they paint, paint, paint over and over again. And they do that when they're on the ground. And when they're done doing that, they fly up into the air and they fly in this crazy elaborate sky. They call it the sky dance. And they fly in a big spiral, like 200, 300 feet in the air, and then come rocketing down, making all kinds of chittering. And they spiral and land basically right back in the spot that they started in. So what you do is, it's, you know, mid-March. I'm a little late. It's late May now to be talking about this, but so mid-March comes around and you start hearing those beep, beep, and you try and get as close as you can to those sounds. But keep in mind, as long as you're hearing the beat, that woodcock is on the ground, so you're going to startle it if you come up to it. So you need to wait until it stops painting, because that means it's probably in the air. Wait till you hear the chittering and get as close as you can. And once it lands, stop. And keep doing that, getting closer and closer every time it comes to land until you're basically right up in its grill. I know I mentioned earlier about how the woodcock's eyes are like, oh, they're super observant. No, they're still birds. Like, they're kind of dumb. And you can get right up in their grill and, like, they're totally fine. They'll just come back down and beep, beep. And so it was one of my favorite memories of this last summer was we had a gang of like 20 people all running through a field, getting as close as we could. And I was basically the distance of me to the camera from a woodcock in its mating display. So it's a ton of fun. Grab some friends, early March, go check out the woodcock dance. As a matter of fact, I can actually show something off. Don't go anywhere. So this is the very fragile wing of an American woodcock. So you can see, like I said, they're on the ground, and it's mid-March. There's a lot of browns in the ground. It's all the dead grass from the winter before. So sure enough, you're seeing a lot of these camouflage colors. They want to be hidden as they're digging into the ground. So any hawk that's flying over, it's really just going to look like more dead grass. So kind of a cool thing. Taxidermy is fun. My name is Sherman, and this is Wingin' It.